I'm Dustin Abbott, and I am here today to talk to you about Tamron's new tap-in console. For those of you unfamiliar with the concept, it is a similar one to that of Sigma's USB dock. And so Sigma's USB dock, which has been around now for a few years, allows you to change different aspects of the lens functionality, including the way that it autofocuses and the way that the OS works. And basically it allows you to update firmware and kind of keep your lens up to date, and at the same time kind of future-proofing your lens somewhat in case there are changes to the camera's focus systems in the future. The idea is that the firmware will allow you to keep your lens current, and that's pretty important when you're using a third-party type lens. So as many of you know, Tamron has released in the last little over a year, has released a completely new line of lenses that has a different kind of design language, and along with that, this is their SP or Super Performance line, and so far there are 4 lenses that have been released in this line, and now Tamron has brought to the market a similar product to that of Sigma's USB dock, and for Tamron it's called the tap-in console. And so today we're going to be taking an unboxing look at what's included, but then over the next few weeks I'll be using the tap-in console with a few lenses, one of those being the newest of the Tamron lenses, the 85mm f1.8 VC, and also as a part of the process because 2 of the lenses that are compatible with the tap-in console, namely the 35mm f1.8 VC and the 45mm f1.8 VC, they are compatible, but first they require a firmware update to make them compatible with the tap-in console. Now you say, well, can't you just update the firmware through the tap-in console? Yes and no. Yes to future firmware updates, but no to the firmware update that makes the lens compatible with the tap-in console. So part of what I'm doing over this review is that just today I've shipped out my own copy of the 45mm f1.8 VC to Tamron for that update, and as a part of my review of the tap-in console I'll be letting you know how the process went, how long it takes for the turnaround, and just detailing that as a part of the process, because for those of you that already own the 35mm or the 45mm and would like to use the tap-in console, that's a part of the process for you. And so I'm welcoming you to help to guide this review process by adding your comments down below, things you would like to see dealt with. But obviously we'll be looking at both the physical side, and we're going to look in just a second at what's included with the tap-in console. But of course this is a piece of hardware that requires software to make it work. So we'll also be detailing the actual tap-in utility software that's available for a free download to actually make the changes to the lenses themselves. And so opening up the box, we've got the typical instruction manual. We've got different pieces of paper that talk about your actual warranty on the console, etc. And so then inside the box itself, secure inside here, we have the actual tap-in console. And so just to give you an idea of the physical similarities and differences, roughly the same size as the Sigma USB dock, a different kind of shape, however, a rounded shape, and as I'm kind of holding the two, the Sigma USB dock essentially feels like the plastic that it is, and I'm sure that the Tamron is also plastic, but it has kind of a soft touch material that just gives it maybe a step above in terms of the overall feel. Not that that's really a huge deal with these. Both of them have a slim lens cap at the back, and that's where you actually will mount the lens. And so just to give you an idea of the physical mounting process, included of course is USB cable. It's a 2.0, not 3.0, and so probably 3.0 is not needed in this kind of application. And so you have to purchase this in the appropriate mount for what you're going to be using. So I'm using a Canon EF mount here, and so I have the Canon version of the console. So to physically mount this, I actually hunted around for a moment looking for the alignment aid along the top, the metal bayonet, but it's actually here on the underside of the console, and so you line up that line with the line on the lens itself. and then twist it into place. And so then, of course, this is going to be physically mounted through the USB cable to your laptop or your computer, and there the magic will happen. And so we'll detail further how it actually works, and the tapping console allows you to tweak things like the autofocus performance, in some cases focus limiter, and then prioritize the VC functionality. That's the vibration compensation, Tamron's image stabilization system. You can change the behavior of that, and so a few different things that will allow you to maximize performance. And also, probably one of the key things, if you're willing to spend some time with the software, is the ability to customize focus instead of just at one position as you can through your camera's AFMA. This allows you to customize autofocus at a variety of focus positions, focus distances, I should say. And ultimately, it should allow you to maximize your autofocus performance at different focus distances. And so that would, to me, is going to be one of the most key applications for this. And so, if you haven't already, you can follow me in social media down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.